Hey guys, this is Eric Weingarten with Weingarten Racing. And you're like, what is this cast iron junk you've got here? I thought you said you don't port cast iron heads. I don't port cast iron heads except for myself. I do valve jobs and flow them on anybody, so that's not a problem at all. But I don't do any port work except for myself. These, however, I have been waiting forever to see. So even from when I was young. So the last set that I got the chance to see was the 292 turbo heads. These were the other ones. And these ones, yes, they're double humps, so super cool. These ones are the 492 double humps. So I haven't seen these before. The way I remember them, and if I'm factually incorrect on any of this, feel free to correct me in the comments. But the way I remember these heads, these were actually not on any vehicle you could get from GM. But GM sold these heads as a replacement head. So if you had like a 327 that made 375 horsepower and the 400 horsepower ones, they came with a double hump head. But these were the replacement heads that you could order from GM. And anybody could order them. You could put on whatever engine for a small block Chevy. And that's what they were. However, when I first saw them, they were in a PAW catalog, which really dates me. That place doesn't exist anymore. It's too bad you young guys have never seen that catalog. The book was like this thick, and it had everything. It was like the toy catalog for adults. But anyway, the first time I saw it, they had the 492s were listed in there. And in theirs listing, at least from what I remember, they used to have screw-in studs, 202 valves, 1600 exhaust valves, and I thought that they had angle plugs. Being that this is the first one I've ever seen, that's not. These are 194 intake valves, 1500 exhaust valves, clearly not screw-in studs, and they're straight plugs. But according to the guy that I got these from, they are completely stocked the exact same way they came, and it looks that way. So what is this project that's going on with this? Why are they even here? Well, I'm getting ready to show you the phone numbers just because, well, why not? I have a 383 short block that's a small block Chevy, and I'm just going to be testing a bunch of cast iron heads, factory and some aftermarket, mostly factory stuff. The goal for that is to see if we can't get a factory small block Chevy cast iron head to try to match the performance of an LS head, similar build. So since the engine's a 383 small block Chevy, that's equivalent or close to a 6-liter. The downside is the 6-liter, if you know anything about it, they did come with 317 heads. Those were cathedrals. Those were okay. But the better heads, 821, 823, I have a dyno mule, and they've made like 590 horsepower. So I really don't think a factory head's going to get that way, but we're going to try and see how close we could actually get to it, matching similar components. But obviously, I'll probably have to modify them, which you're like, well, that's cheating. You could modify the factory LS heads. Agree. But it's more of a fun project. I got a set of open chamber heads here as well to test and just do different things, and that's what we're going to test. We're going to see how good we can make them. And trust me, I'm going to try everything. But this is the first ones we'll be doing some stuff with. So anyway, that's them. They've got a small chamber. Let me go ahead and show you the flow numbers, which I accidentally just put away. Here they are. This is flowed on a 4030 bore, no exhaust pipe. They're not that great. At 400, it does 189, and peak flows about 208 at 900. And like, you're never gonna get to 900. No, this particular build, this 383 is gonna be hydraulic roller stuff, just like you'd find in the LS. So typically, we're gonna be between 5 and 600 lift. And that's only 203, pretty bad. The exhaust side's pretty bad too, at 151 at 900 lift. But still, it's about that at the lower lifts too. It's just not great. I actually thought it'd be a little bit better. In my experience, most double humps are about 212-ish, 210. So I thought this better piece, because these were supposed to be the cat's meow, besides the 292 turbos, which are a true aftermarket. Well, not true aftermarket. They're still sold by GM, but a true, I guess you could call it aftermarket, better set of heads than these. The 292 turbos came after these. So according to what I found out, these came out in the 60s. Then the 292 turbos replaced it, and the bow ties replaced that from my research. So these are really old. But just to give you an idea on the flow numbers, since we're talking about the LS, this flow numbers is about what a 706 LS head flows. So in case you're wondering what that is, because you might be a small block Chevy guy, a 4.8 liter LS came with a set of 706 heads. They have small valves about the same size as these, and they flow about what this does. As a matter of fact, there are a few CFM better, and I'm talking like 3 or 4. So, yeah. But You're like, well, see, small block Chevy's close. And I would say that too because I'm somewhat of a small block Chevy fan, but I like all engines really. Except for the thing is this. This is one of the better small block Chevy heads before the Vortex stuff came out. And I'm not talking about the 292 turbos because they're somewhat aftermarket. These were some of the better numbers you would have for a small block Chevy before Vortex. And it just barely matches the worst flowing LS head. So yeah, ouch. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let me show you what I'm going to do to the heads. And we're going to do some cutting and show you all the stuff that goes with this. So it's just kind of a fun project. And we'll, of course, make it on the dyno at some point. Now, I'm using my least aggressive 45-degree cutter. And this blade's really old. And I hardly ever use it because it's not very aggressive. But it's a 5-angle deal. And what I mean by aggressive is I've got ones that'll take out way more material in the bowl area. I don't want to do that on these because the stock head, you've got water between here. So on this one, it's taking out the least amount of material, but still get my angles in. But as you can tell where it's sitting right now, let me zoom in there. You can tell it's going to take quite a bit because it's set up for a 202 and it's a 194 now. If you think that's bad, remember they talked about shrouding on the valves? That's true. On the factory heads, not aftermarket heads, they are shrouded because if you look, taking my blade and just turning it around, you can see it's going to cut all that off just using the blade. And that's about 130 thousandths away from where the valve is. So 202, 130 where that cuts. But let me stop yapping and make a cut and show you what it looks like. Just to kind of show you, I've started doing the cut. You can see how much it's actually deshrouding, so quite a bit. The valve job's not down all the way, but just to show you how much it's actually taking them out. Remember, this is my least aggressive one. If I use my more aggressive one, that'd be a ton out. But let's go ahead and finish this. I'm not done cutting, I'm just stopping right now because what I'm gonna do is I gotta suck this out. I'm gonna lap in the valve because the seat angle is actually right there, which is really hard to see. Get that zoom, there we go. Right there. But you can tell it needs to come down more because these lines need to meet. And I do want a top cut to go around here because it helps it flow better. But that's a lot of material, just to let you know. Okay, here's what it looks like when it's all done. I actually lapped it in so you can see where the seat's sitting. And that's a lot of material removed. And still a lot more grinding to go. Kind of a disadvantage though. So, yeah, you can see everything there. I probably could drop it down further and get more of this top cut in, but it's starting to do here. The thing is, these really are shrouded. So the whole shrouded thing started with these heads. Like you hear, don't put bigger valves in because they're shrouded. Well, it starts with these. Let me show you why. So this is a Brodix 202 valve. This is what we'll be using. If you look, I'm just going to hold it like this. They're tight. I mean, there's not a lot of room, especially you can see it there. So, and you're like, well, on an aftermarket head, what we do is we grind here, you know, and make a little thing this way, but there's not a lot of material behind here. So you got to be careful not to grind through. But, and the other catch is, and this is from dyno experience, compression always beats flow. So if I gain flow, but I lose compression, it's a loss. The goal is to keep, you better gain a ton of flow for a minimum amount of loss in compression. So I probably will unshroud it, but not a ton because it'll be a loss of compression. I'm still gonna mill these down to get some of that out right here. So this will get closer, but that one's done and gonna do all the rest of the intakes and I'll do the exhaust. Now the exhaust is cut out. So as you can see, if you look at it, this is actually my least aggressive exhaust too. So this is the radius, the 45s were right there. That's my least aggressive one, but it still removes quite a bit of material just because of the way it is compared to stock to that. It's a lot. So, well, hopefully it does something on the bench though whenever we get all the grinding and stuff done.